Hey there everyone, welcome to the final part of the tutorial for Firnen from the Inheritance series. So you should have finished looming him. I wired my guy up and I will show you what he looks like when he's completely done, but I wired him up. I put 2 sets of wires through his wings and through his body and from one leg to the other on the front and back. Alright, so now we are ready to attach the stomach. Alright, so this part we're going to need some stuffing. I'm turning him upside down, that makes it easier. Okay, so we're going to kind of just lay it over him. Alright, and this is all we got to do, okay? So I'm going to start up at the head. Alright, I'm going to go into the set right at the base of the head, so where the neck begins, on the side. Okay, so I'm going through those all 4 loops on the upper portion of that set. Okay, because we have the upper portion, we have the side portion, and the bottom portion. We're going through the upper portion of each set as we go. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that first loose band from the stomach through, just like that. Push it down on your hook, go through the next set on the neck, and grab the next band. Pull it through that set as well as the first band. So essentially we are stitching this on. Alright, make sure you don't miss any sets as you go, so make sure all your bands are pulled out to the edge so they're easily viewable, easy to see. Going to stuff anything yet. First we have to attach one entire side. So we're just going all the way down. Set by set, band by band, stitching it on. When we reach the front leg, we're going to do something a little bit different. Alright, so we're going to do the set where the first part of that front leg is attached. We're going to go through the front of the set instead of the top. We're going through the front, so we're just turning it 90 degrees, going through 4 loops on the front. Okay, and then the next set we're going through the 4 loops on the bottom. The next set we're going through the 4 loops on the bottom. And that final set we're going to go through the front of the loops again. Alright, perfect. And now we're going to continue going through the top loops like we did on the neck. I know my hook is going off screen now. Just continue going till you reach the back leg. Alright, when we reach the first set where the back leg is attached, like we did with the front leg, we're going through the top 4 loops. Or the front 4 loops, it's not the top. Alright, and then the next couple sets we're going to go through the bottom 4 loops. Okay, when we reach that last set that last set of the leg, we're going to again go through the top, or the front 4 loops. And then we're going to return and go back to the top the rest of the way. Okay, again my hook is probably off screen. Just continue going through the top loops down the tail. If you've done my tutorials before, you probably noticed that I definitely made the lower part of the tail a lot longer than I usually do in my videos. I really wanted to give it some dimension. Give it a nice strong tail. Continuing. 4. Alright, so at this point where all these spikes are attached, it's going to be a little tricky to find the sets, so I'm just going to go kind of like behind each spike. So that one I went behind. This set doesn't have a spike, so I'll just pull it through as normal. This one I'll go behind. Also make sure you're not pulling through the loops for the other side, because there's 2 loops or 2 bands on these and you want to make sure one goes to each side. Okay, the next one is normal. Next one goes behind. Next one is normal. Next one goes behind. Next one is normal. Next one goes behind. Next one is normal. Okay, and there should be one more. Perfect. Alright, so this last set, it'll go behind. So one of those tied off ends will go through here as the final set. Alright, and you can stick a pencil or a holding hook through here And what I'm just going to do real quick is I'm just going to move these sets to the other side of the spike, so that they're on the correct side. Okay. Alright, so one side is done. We got one more to go. So at this point, as we go along, we're going to be using the stuffing to stuff him up. Alright, this is tricky because this is essentially backwards now for me because I'm lefty, or righty. Lefty. I'm usually lefty. For some reason this project I'm righty. Anyway, so again, we're going to the set behind the head, pulling through. So we're doing the same thing on the other side that we just did. And as we go, we'll stuff them up. Okay, so if you want, at this point, every once in a while, maybe every 12 bands or so, take a little bit of your fiber fill and stuff it up there. But you don't want to put too much in. Like if you can see the stuffing through the bands, through the side of the neck, then you put too much in. It's tempting to do, but it just won't make it look good in the end. So don't overdo it. Yeah, see, that was too much already. Too much. I think I need to like spread it out a little bit. Alright, and we're just going to keep going. So the neck, I'm going to let you put too much stuffing in. But let's keep going. Make sure you don't miss any sets as you go. Now he's in an awkward position. I'm trying to keep him in the camera. Sounds like there's a mouse in my wall. Or a bird or something. There's something in the wall. Bleh. Alright, I'm going to stuff a little more here. Up the neck. Just a little bit. Alright. I'm going to turn him. Alright, as I continue. Alright, we're almost to the front leg here. So again, when you get to the first set where the front leg is attached, we're going to go through the top 4 loops. Then we go through the bottom, bottom 4 under that front leg. And the next. And then the next one's the last set, so we're going to go to the top bands behind it. Okay, maybe I'll stuff a little more here. The base of the neck. Alright, now we're going back to the top sets. Make sure you go through all 4 loops. And every few sets we'll stuff his stomach up a little more. Alright, so maybe here, let's stuff it some more. There's a big cavity in here now. So make sure you grab enough. Really fill that up. But remember, don't overstuff because we don't want to see stuffing through the side of the body. So I think that's about good. All right. Continuing on. Roar. This should also be making his back arch up as well by stuffing this. Yeah. Alright, the next set looks like the back leg, first set of the back leg, so I'm going to go through the top 4 loops. Alright, now we're going to go under the back leg for the next set. Again for the next one. And one more. So I'll twist it up. I'll have to untwist those bands later. Alright, stuff it up a little more. Roar. Oh gosh, I can't wait to see what he's gonna look like. He's pretty cool. Alright, next one is the back of the leg. So again, we're gonna go through those upper 4 loops. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and now we're going to go back to going through the top loops at the top of the body. A couple more sets and I'll stuff a little bit more. Alright, let's stuff a little bit more. Roar. And then maybe about every 6 sets I will stuff a little more. Maybe now I'll stuff a little bit more. I'm using like the cheapest stuffing ever. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. Stuff it a little more. Alright, continuing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This spot is going to need a little more later, I can tell already. Might be able to stuff a little bit afterward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so keep in mind that as the tail gets narrower, the amount of stuffing you need to put in there is going to be less. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I don't think I'm going to need any more stuffing at this point, so I'm just going to keep going. Alright, so here's the point where we go through the narrow ones in front of the spikes. This one's a regular set. Right, this one we go to the set behind the spike. Next one's a regular one. It's hard, it might be hard to tell where exactly the sets are at this point. Just do your best to try to keep the sides even if you can't figure it out. Okay. Almost looks like I have an extra set on my thing. How did that happen? Hold on. I'm just gonna perfect mine because I worked so hard on it and I do not want it to be crooked. Find out what I did here. Oh, I see what I did. I did something wrong on the other side. That's why. I'm gonna fix it. Because that's just the way I am. Okay, so just give me a sec while I adjust mine. If you're done with yours, way to go. I hope you love it. Alright, so it just looks like I have an extra band. I'm just gonna pull it through the same set as the last one, just Alright. So now I should have an even amount on both sides. Yeah, perfect. Sorry guys, I am indeed a perfectionist, so if one side is off, I must fix it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more on each side. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, and 6. All right, so we have these two ends here. All right, we can just wrap them around the tail, I guess. You could use a C-clip and hide them in the tail, but honestly that C-clip might get in the way and poke out, and it might be like really annoying. So I'm gonna do mine like that, just wrap it around. Here we go, you can barely tell. I'm just gonna check the stuffing and make sure I'm happy with it. If I'm not, I can use the eraser of a pencil and I could stuff more in places that I think need some more. Let's see if I could do that. Yep. I'm gonna put a little more here. Actually, I'm gonna put a little more in here. This spot needs a bunch. There's a little more here too. It's got a big, thick tail. Alright, so just double check them so you're happy with them. And then I will show you what he looks like. Let me just make him look nice. Straighten up his spikes. And his antenna. Alright, so here he is. If I can get him off the wire. There we go. Alright, so there's his wings. There's his tummy. He's got a pretty decent sized tummy. So I hope you like that new look with the rib cage. I think it looks kind of cool. Alright, here's his long tail. Let me move the screen down. Sorry about that. There we go. There's Firnen. Alright, hope you guys like him. He's definitely shorter body length wise than Zafira, which I kind of like that he's a little smaller and he's got his skinny legs because he's supposed to be kind of like an adolescent, I believe, in the book. So he's not actually full adult yet. Alright, well there you go guys. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I know some parts of it were tricky, but I hope that overall you are happy with him and the way he looks. Okay. Alright, so follow me on Instagram. See the links in the description. I'm usually more active on Instagram than I am on YouTube or Facebook generally. So just check that out and you can see like what new projects I'm working on and videos and whatnot. Okay? Hope you enjoyed, everybody. See you soon.